Nigeria's premier financial services group, FBN Holdings PLC, as part of its strategy to deepen its capital base and prepare its flagship subsidiary First Bank for the banking recapitalization phase, engaged market stakeholders at the Nigeria Exchange Limited. The event was the FBN Holdings Facts Behind the Rights issue, which was an opportunity to explain to shareholders and investors the strategy of the holding company as it seeks to raise an initial 150 billion naira through the market. The CEO of the Nigeria Exchange Limited, Mr. Jude Chiemeka, highlighted the role the exchange has played in facilitating capital raising using digital platforms.
At the NGX, we remain committed to providing platform for our listed corporates to be able to raise capital. Year to date, we have been able to facilitate over 5.7 trillion naira across different asset classes. This sector, financial services sector, is a really important sector in our market. So from 2019 to 2024, this sector has traded over 8 trillion naira worth of securities on the equities market, and 51% of that is largely attributable to this particular sector. And we think because of the importance this sector provides to the economy in terms of job creation, we're particularly glad that we're able to help the sector around their capital raise exercise. When the big elephant comes to the room, we have no doubt that given the sort of trading we have seen this year, especially around the secondary markets, year to date, we traded over 2.3 trillion naira worth of transaction on the equities market. So we have no doubt at all that the NGX, as a platform provider, is able to assist FBN to be able to raise the capital that they're looking to raise. It's also important to point out that this institution, apart from contributing to job creation, hiring several people, as you can see, is a holding company, and they have different companies. From the introduction, we have seen a lot of MDs from their subsidiaries. Last year, they paid over 48 billion naira as taxes to the federal government. So they continue to add value. And we're truly delighted.
In his presentation, the Group Managing Director of FBN Holdings PLC, Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo, shared the market expansion and strategic investments plan.
We seek to raise 150 billion naira via rights. I want you to know as well that this plan had actually commenced last year to raise 150 billion because we've done our numbers. We knew the kind of firepower we needed, and we decided to do 150 billion rights issue. While we were at it, Central Bank came out with the new regulations for 500 billion. So you can see that we're ahead of the curve. We're thinking forward. The offer opened on 4th of November, and it will close on 12th of December. Each shareholder has been provisionally allotted one new ordinary share of 50 kobo for every 6 ordinary shares held as at October 18th. The shares are priced at 25 naira, which you will agree with me is a discount from the current price. As a shareholder, you have 3 options. You can accept your rights and apply for more. Or you trade your rights on the floor of the exchange. Or the third option is what? Do nothing. But you know that if you do nothing, you'll be diluting your holding by the time we are done with this offer. The cost of doing nothing can be serious, so I'll advise that nobody does nothing. Okay, so for the proceeds from this offer, it will be used to further capitalize our flagship subsidiary, First Bank, as well as go into investments in automation and digital banking and support our international franchises. We'll close on 12th, but other dates we have given in that schedule are dependent on the various regulatory processes. So as time moves on, we'll adjust those dates. However, suffice it to say that by Q1 2025, we hope to have concluded this process. This is just showing you the professionals that we have selected as transaction partners. Here, we're highlighting our global footprint, which covers Anglophone and Francophone countries. We're in Ghana, we're in Sierra Leone, we're in Gambia, etc. This just shows you the board of directors of FBN Holdings. If you take time to look at the profile of different directors, you would make a judgment for yourself whether this bank can ask for a more diversified board with competent professionals and experienced people. This just speaks to our commitment to corporate governance and ESG thought leadership. Our commitment to strong governance and ESG is unwavering. We're one of the few banks that publish annual sustainability reports. What this does is just to show you that we're a diversified financial services group. What we're doing here is validating that our group continues to remain a dominant player in Nigerian financial services sector. Despite the macro headwinds, we have maintained our credit ratings, which I had mentioned before. We're also at the forefront of promoting financial inclusion in Nigeria through our agency banking. Our strategic growth is centered around 4 critical pillars: market expansion and strategic investments. Again, I want you to pay attention to that. So when we say market expansion and strategic investments, when we need to answer questions as to why we need capital, I'm giving you expo already. This is part of the reason. Okay. We'll continue to explore attractive business adjacencies, which we'll put through a rigorous process of validation before we decide to go into those new businesses. These are some key numbers to highlight our over 43 million number of customers, etc. Year on year, First Bank has shown consistent growth across digital channels. Value of transactions on USSD, 4.2 trillion in September, up 12.7% from same period 2023. Mobile and internet banking are about 10x of that. And going by transaction values, in comparison to a number of fintechs, First Bank can be seen to have incubated a unicorn. When we say we're a leading investment banking business and with excellence across all pillars, we don't mean to challenge. We're not claiming to be number one, but we're leading, if you know what I mean. So this slide actually just shows you some of our partners in this regard. In 9 months of 2024, we have shown strong performance across all key indicators. Net interest income was up 132%, and that went up to 873 billion. Non-interest income up 82.5% to 585 billion. Total assets were up 62% to 27.5 trillion. Our loan book was up 47% to 9.4 trillion. Customer deposits up 57% to 16.7 trillion. Overall PBT was up 128% to 610 billion in 9 months. Over this period, we recorded ROAE of 32.8%, which is over 10 percentage points from where we were as at 2023. Thank you. This demonstrates our commitment to continue to create value for shareholders. So when we are asking for additional capital, you rest assured that we're going somewhere with value creation. Okay, this is just saying that we're on track to achieving our strategic priorities and deliver better than our 2024 financials.
Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo speaks on how the rights issue of FBN Holdings will impact the balance sheet and the diversification of the investor base.
We are conscious and mindful of where we need to be in terms of capital base. And that's why we went ahead to commence the process of raising 150 billion naira in rights issue, even ahead of the regulator's announcement. So we have our strategies well planned out. We have exact business units where we deploy the resources to before we commenced. So we're not just reacting to regulatory requirements, we're only following with discipline our strategic plans. And so as they fall due, we want to be in vault position to deliver on those promises. Like I said earlier, do nothing has implications. You don't want to miss out on this franchise. What we have here is an institution with strength, an institution with sound funding base, an institution with strong earnings, which is positive for organic capital accretion. So if I were every other, like I'm an investor as well, if I was any other investor in First Bank, this is the time to make sure that you don't get left out.
Mr. Jude Chiemeka also provided insights on the NGX platform and how it will support the capital raising plans of FBN Holdings PLC.
This platform will certainly help this FBN Holdings to ensure that there are different shareholders from any parts of the world can utilize this. There's also what work the Central Securities Clearing System have done in terms of APIs. So the bank itself can also utilize their own platform and plug in through the APIs of the NGX, and the offers will be seamless. So technology, like I said, is really the heart of it. It shortens transaction time. It widens the scope of investors who participate in the market, and at the same time, it provides accurate data capturing in terms of the KYC and the ability to trade the secondary markets. So when the GMD was talking about investors who do not want to take up their rights, the NGS does have a secondary market platform. So for those that don't want to take up their rights, they will be able to trade their rights on the floor through their brokers. And year to date, we've traded over 2.3 trillion naira worth of securities in the market. And I think that is huge given the size of our domestic international play. The international contribution to our market year to date is around 18%. So the domestic institution continues to be very strong, and we're really confident that the FBN Holdings will be able to raise the capital that they seek.
As FBN Holdings PLC accesses the market through the 150 billion naira rights issue and the conclusion of another 350 billion naira by first quarter 2025, shareholders and stakeholders expect more engagement as the financial holding company shores up capital for the repositioning of First Bank for business efficiency, value creation, and profitability.